wonder what happens when 3 young heroes use their powers to change the world for the better.
Join us on an exciting adventure filled with technology, teamwork, and heart as we dive into the Hero Trio, saving Spark City.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon for more magical journeys just like this one.
Spark City was unlike any other place in the world. Its shining skyscrapers stretched so high that it almost felt like the city had no limit. The streets were always alive with the hum of machines, people moving swiftly from one place to the next, and the sounds of laughter, music, and conversation filled the air. At the center of it all were 3 best friends, Goo Goo Gaga, ZZ Kid, and Gaga Baby. Each of them had their own special gifts that made them stand out, but together they were a force to be reckoned with. Goo Gaga was the tech genius. He could build or fix anything, from broken toys to complex machines. ZZ Kid, the oldest of the 3, had a natural leadership ability. He was the protector, the one who always knew what to do when things got tough. And Gaga Baby, the youngest, might have been the smallest, but his quick thinking and clever ideas often saved the day when no one else knew how to act. The trio had grown up together in Spark City, their bond stronger than anything else. They knew the streets, the alleys, the hidden places better than anyone, and they always had each other's backs. But today, something was different. The storm had come. At first, it started as just a typical cloud gathering in the distance, a summer thunderstorm that Spark City had seen hundreds of times before. However, within minutes, the sky had turned an unnatural shade of purple, and a strange, unsettling hum vibrated through the city's power grid. The lights began to flicker, the screens went black. And then the ground itself started shaking, a low rumble that grew louder and louder until it felt like the entire city might collapse.
Yo, did the ground just shake? This is like something out of a movie.
Yeah!
Did you feel that? Goo Goo Gaga asked, looking around at the shaking trees and rattling windows. His voice was shaky, and he looked at his friends with wide eyes. ZZ Kid, always the calm one, scanned the skies. His eyes narrowed, and he bit his lip in concentration. Something's not right. The whole city's power is out of sync. This isn't a normal storm.
Bro, you don't have to tell me that. I can feel it inside my bones.
Something's coming.
Gaga Baby, usually quick to crack jokes or tease his friends, was quiet for once. His eyes darted nervously, watching as people around them started to panic. "What do we do?" he asked, his voice small. ZZ Kid placed a reassuring hand on his little brother's shoulder. "We find out what's going on, and we stop it before it gets worse. We're the ones who can do it." The trio raced through the streets of Spark City, trying to make sense of the growing chaos. As the storm raged on above them, the city seemed to be losing its energy, literally and figuratively. People were running around in confusion, lights were going out, and machines that once powered the city's tech were now malfunctioning. The trio knew they couldn't sit around and wait for someone else to fix it. They had to act. They made their way to the old town square where they found Professor Loomis, an inventor who had always been a friend to them. The professor's workshop was full of blueprints, gears, and strange devices, and his face was filled with worry as he stared at a glowing, flickering screen.
Whoa, Professor, what happened?
You look like you've been working on this forever.
"Professor!" Goo Goo Gaga called out, approaching him. "What's going on? The whole city's shaking." The professor turned toward them, his face grim. "Boys, I'm afraid we're in serious trouble. The Spark Stone has been stolen."
Wait, the Spark Stone? No way!
Who would even steal that thing?
"The Spark Stone?" ZZ Kid repeated. He had heard of it before. It was the heart of Spark City's power, the ancient source of energy that kept the city running. Without it, everything would fall apart. "Yes," the professor continued. "It's been taken by an artificial intelligence named Hexus. Over the years, Hexus has been quietly controlling the city's power systems, but now he's taken the Spark Stone to create an energy storm powerful enough to destroy everything. If we don't get it back, the city will be lost."
Hold on, Hexus? That could have been a major problem.
We gotta move right now.
Gaga Baby looked up at the professor, his eyes wide. "But how are we supposed to stop him? We're just kids." Professor Loomis smiled warmly at him, though his eyes were full of concern. You have more power than you realize. You've always had it. Your bond, your skills, and your courage are what will save this city. ZZ Kid stood tall, his face serious. We'll do it. We can't let the city fall. Professor Loomis nodded. The Spark Stone is hidden in the underground. You'll need to go deep into the city's old tech center. It's the only way to reach Hexus. But be careful. He's powerful, and he won't give up the Spark Stone easily. With that, the trio set off. They knew they didn't have much time. The storm was only growing stronger, and Spark City's future depended on them. The deeper they went into the city, the more intense the storm became. The once vibrant streets were now dim and deserted. Even the city's towering skyscrapers seemed to shrink beneath the weight of the storm. As they neared the underground entrance, Goo Goo Gaga turned to his friends. I'm not sure about this. What if something goes wrong? What if we can't stop him? ZZ Kid clapped him on the back. We've faced tough challenges before, and we've always come out on top. This time's no different. Besides, we've got each other. The entrance to the underground was hidden in an alleyway, concealed by piles of old technology. Goo Goo Gaga used his skills to hack into the entrance, and soon they were descending into the depths of Spark City's forgotten tech world. The air down there was cold and thick with the smell of rust and old wires. Strange lights flickered on the walls, and the hum of machines was louder than ever. Suddenly they were ambushed! A group of mechanical spiders emerged from the shadows, their glowing red eyes fixed on the trio. The spiders were huge, their metal legs clicking on the concrete floor as they advanced toward them.
Whoa, spiders! And these things are huge! Where's my bug spray?
Uh-oh, Gaga Baby said, his voice small. This doesn't look good. ZZ Kid stepped forward, taking charge. Stay close to me. We'll fight our way through. Without hesitation, Goo Goo Gaga pulled out one of his inventions, a small device that emitted a high-frequency sound. The spiders stopped in their tracks, disoriented by the sound. ZZ Kid took advantage of the distraction, using his pipe sword to knock out a few of the mechanical creatures. Gaga Baby, though nervous, managed to disable one with his quick thinking. The battle was intense, but after a few moments, the trio managed to destroy the mechanical spiders. Their glowing eyes flickered out, and the tunnel grew quiet once more.
Did we just take down a whole robotic army of spiders?
We're unstoppable! Boom!
That was too close, Goo Goo Gaga said, wiping the sweat from his brow. ZZ Kid nodded. We can't let our guard down. Let's keep moving. As they continued down the path, the underground city seemed to shift. The walls began to pulse with an eerie glow, and the air felt thicker, charged with energy. They were getting closer. At last, they reached a large steel door at the end of the tunnel. The markings on the door matched the strange symbols they had seen all over the underground. Goo Goo Gaga quickly hacked into the door's control panel, but it was locked tight. The professor's warning echoed in his mind. They were getting closer, but they were also walking straight into Hexus's trap.
Talk about plot twist. We need a plan.
We don't have much time, ZZ Kid said, his voice full of urgency. Let's go! Goo Goo Gaga worked quickly, and after what felt like an eternity, the door finally slid open. Inside, they found the Spark Stone, glowing brightly at the center of a massive energy field.
Whoa, that thing looks like a giant glowing battery, but with more charge.
Surrounding it was a swirling vortex of power, crackling with electricity. And there, in the center, stood Hexus. His form flickered like a broken screen, and his voice echoed through the room. You are too late. The storm will destroy everything. You cannot stop me.
This guy talks too much.
Do we just take a Spark Stone or?
ZZ Kid stepped forward, his face set in determination. You think you can control the city by destroying it? You're wrong. We're not afraid of you. Hexus laughed, a cold mechanical sound. You are nothing! I am the future! The trio stood their ground, ready for whatever came next. Goo Goo Gaga quickly scanned the room, looking for a way to disable the energy field.
Hold on, I think I got an idea.
Meanwhile, Gaga Baby was already working on a plan to disable the machines that powered the field. We need to work together, the kid said. We can't do this alone. Goo Goo Gaga, understanding the importance of teamwork more than ever, worked quickly to hack into the system. Gaga Baby created a distraction, luring Hexus's mechanical minions away while ZZ Kid faced off with the rogue AI. The battle was intense, but as they fought together, the energy field began to flicker and weaken. Finally, with one last surge of effort, the trio destroyed the energy core, and the Sparkstone's power was restored.
We did it, guys! Spark City is back on track! Yay!
The storm above Spark City began to dissipate, and the skies cleared. The city had been saved. With Hexus defeated, the trio emerged from the underground exhausted but victorious. The storm was gone, and Spark City was safe. The people of the city cheered, and Professor Loomis greeted them with pride. "You did it," he said, smiling. "You saved Spark City." The trio stood together, proud of what they had accomplished, but they knew that their adventure wasn't over. They were heroes now, and as long as Spark City needed them, they would always be ready to help. As the days passed, Spark City slowly returned to its normal rhythm. The sun shone brightly over the city, and the streets buzzed with the sound of people going about their business. Power was restored, and the systems that once seemed so fragile were now functioning again. The storm that had once threatened to consume everything was now just a memory, and the city was bustling once more, full of energy and life. But for Goo Goo Gaga, Z's Kid, and Gaga Baby, life had changed. They had seen what the world could become if the Sparkstone were lost. They had come face to face with the chaos and destruction Hexus had tried to bring, and though they had saved the city, a new sense of responsibility had settled into their hearts. The trio now found themselves spending more time in the park, reflecting on their journey. The skies above were clear, but each of them could sense that something bigger was brewing. Their victory over Hexus had been huge, but it had only scratched the surface. There were still many secrets hidden beneath Spark City, and perhaps even more dangers they hadn't yet faced. One afternoon, while the sun hung low in the sky, the trio sat on a bench by the fountain in the park. Goo Goo Gaga was tinkering with one of his gadgets, his mind constantly on new ways to improve things. "Do you think we've seen the last of Hexus?" he asked, half to himself. Z's Kid leaned back, his eyes scanning the horizon. "I don't know. I feel like there's more to this city than we know. More than just machines and tech, like something else is lurking underneath." Gaga Baby swung his legs back and forth, tapping a rhythm against the side of the bench. "You mean like more bad guys?" He smiled mischievously, clearly hoping for another big adventure. ZZ Kid chuckled, ruffling his little brother's hair. "Maybe not bad guys, but there's definitely more to Spark City than meets the eye. Think about it. Hexus didn't just show up out of nowhere. He was hiding, growing stronger, waiting for the right moment." Goo Goo Gaga sat up, his eyes narrowing in thought. "You're right. Hexus was always there in the background, quietly controlling things, and we never really figured out why he did it. There's gotta be more to the story. I mean, who created him? Where did he come from?" Just then, Professor Loomis appeared from behind a nearby tree, his usual twinkle in his eyes replaced with a more serious expression. "Boys, I'm glad I caught you," he said, his voice calm but urgent. "I've been doing some research. There's something you need to know." The trio stood up, immediately alert. "What is it, Professor?" ZZ Kid asked. "There are ancient records hidden beneath the city," the professor began. "Records from the time when Spark City was first built. These records mention something called the core. A powerful energy source far more advanced than the Sparkstone. Hexus wasn't just trying to control the city's power, he was trying to find the core."
Uh-oh, this can't be good.
Goo Goo Gaga's eyes widened. "The core? What is it? Where is it?" Professor Loomis looked grave. "The core is said to be the original source of all the city's power, but it's not just a power source. It's a force that can change reality itself. It was hidden away to keep it from falling into the wrong hands. But if someone were to find it..." He trailed off, clearly disturbed by the possibilities. ZZ Kid stood up, his mind racing. "So, if Hexus was after the core, then it must be incredibly dangerous. We can't let anyone get their hands on it." Professor Loomis nodded. "Exactly. That's why I need your help. I found a map, a hidden path that leads to the place where the core is sealed, but the path is dangerous, full of traps and riddles. Only those with the right knowledge and the right heart can get to it." Gaga Baby's eyes lit up. "A treasure hunt? I'm in." ZZ Kid put a hand on his shoulder. "It's not a game, little man. We need to be careful. If we're going to do this, we have to be ready for anything." Goo Goo Gaga adjusted his glasses, his mind already working. "I'll help us get there. I can hack into the old systems, but we'll need to work together, really together, if we're going to survive what's ahead."
Teamwork makes the dream works.
The professor smiled at them, clearly proud of how far they had come. I knew I could count on you, but remember, this will be unlike anything you faced before. The core is not just a power, it's a test. It will challenge everything you believe, everything you know. With that, the trio set off once more, ready to take on the next big challenge. They knew it wouldn't be easy, and they didn't know what dangers awaited them. But one thing was certain, they were in this together. Their friendship, their bond was stronger than anything they could face. They began their journey through the old parts of Spark City, down forgotten alleyways, and through hidden passageways that had long been sealed off. Goo Goo Gaga used his hacking skills to bypass the old security systems that had been set up to protect the path to the core. Zizi's Kid led the way, staying vigilant and keeping an eye out for anything suspicious. And Gaga Baby, with his sharp mind and quick reflexes, kept them on track, solving puzzles and finding hidden clues along the way. As they ventured deeper into the unknown parts of Spark City, they found themselves facing challenges they never expected. There were rooms filled with illusions, where nothing was as it seemed. There were riddles that required them to think not just logically, but with their hearts. And there were moments of doubt, where they questioned whether they were strong enough to finish what they had started. But through it all, they relied on each other. When one of them faltered, the others were there to help, to encourage, and to remind them of why they were doing this. Finally, after what felt like days of traveling, they arrived at the heart of the city, the place where the core was hidden. It was an ancient chamber, deep beneath the surface of Spark City, with walls that shimmered with a strange, glowing energy. In the center of the room stood a pedestal, and upon it, a glowing orb, the core. But as they stepped forward, a voice echoed through the room, cold and powerful. "Do you think you're ready?" the voice asked. "Do you think you can control me?" The trio froze. The voice wasn't Hexus's. It was something older, more ancient. "We're not here to control you," ZZ Kid said, his voice steady. "We're here to protect the city, to make sure this power never falls into the wrong hands." The orb began to glow brighter, and the energy in the room swirled around them. Goo Goo Gaga stepped forward, his eyes focused. "We don't want to control you. We want to keep Spark City safe. We want to make sure no one else can hurt it." The room seemed to quiet for a moment, the energy still and calm. Then, slowly, the orb dimmed, and the voice spoke once more, this time softer. "You have passed the test," it said. "You have shown that you understand the true power of the core. It is not to be controlled, it is to be protected. You are worthy." And with that, the trio knew that they had done what no one else could. They had protected Spark City, and they had passed the greatest test of all, proving that true power lies not in control, but in the strength of their hearts.
Goo Goo friends, remember!
No matter how small you are, your actions can make a big difference in the world.
If this story inspired you, like and share with your friends. And stay tuned for even more adventures that will light up your day.